Hello everyone, welcome to Literature Camp, a channel for the preparation of UGC NET and SET in English literature. I am Debarghya Chakraborty. This is my fourth class on literary theory for the preparation of UGC NET and SET in English literature. The topic of our today's discussion is Julia Kristeva and Mikhail Bakhtin. They are very much important literary theorists we should read for the preparation of UGC NET. So let us start this class. I hope you'll make notes of all the points I'm going to give today. So be ready with a pen and paper and start making notes. Let's start this class. Julia Kristeva. Who is she? She is a Bulgarian and French literary philosopher and literary critic, theorist. She is a very important figure in the world of literary theory. In my previous class, I have discussed structuralism. So she has developed the concept of semiotics, yes, study of science. But she has associated semiotics with mother, body, and language. Yes, please make a note of this. He has associated semiotics with mother, body, and language. So displacement, slippage, and condensation are associated with semiotics. This question already came in UGC NET examination. So please make a note of this. Displacement, slippage, and condensation are associated with semiotics. And Julia Kristeva is famous for the distinction between what she calls the semiotic and the symbolic. Yes, she has given two terms. They are very much important. We should know. She called semiotic as genotext, genotext, and she called symbolic as phenotext. So definitely this question also can be asked. Who has coined this concept of genotext and phonotext, phenotext? So this is Julia Kristeva, and she called semiotic as genotext and symbolic as phenotext. So please make a note of these. Now she has developed another concept, the concept of chora. Yes, she took this concept of chora from Plato. So you can also make note, this concept of chora is taken from Plato. Yes. So what is chora? Chora is a nourishing maternal space. Yes, that is the point. As I have already told you, that she has associated semiotics with what? With mother, body, and language. So chora, this concept is developed or coined, you can also tell, by Julia Kristeva, but inspired by, yes, Plato. Now, intertextuality. Again, this concept of intertextuality is coined by Julia Kristeva. This is Julia Kristeva's concept. She has used or introduced this concept of intertextuality in this word, dialogue, and novel. This is something you need to remember, written by Julia Kristeva. This question can be asked, in which word she has used the concept of intertextuality. The answer is word, dialogue, and novel. So this is something very much important. Word, dialogue, and novel. So what is intertextuality? I am sure you know something about it. Text is not a linear entity. That is the point. But a heterogeneous combination of text. Yes, you refer to many texts, you allude to many texts while reading a text or while writing a text, right? So that is the concept of intertextuality. And any text is at once literary and social, creative and cultural. That is the concept of intertextuality. Who has developed this? Of course, this is by Julia Kristeva, right? So next, let us know some important major works written by Julia Kristeva. Important works. Number one is Desire in Language, published in 1980. This is very, very important work. Desire in Language, published in 1980. The subtitle of this work is A Semiotic Approach to Literature and Art. This question also can be asked. What is the subtitle of this work? Desire in Language, written by Julia Kristeva. The answer is Semiotic, a semiotic approach to literature and art. This is very important. Next, Black Sun. Black Sun, written by Julia Kristeva, published in 1989. Yes. So in this work, she has referred to melancholia. Yes, this question also can be asked. She has referred to melancholia. What is it? A depression of female child. A depression of female child. So please make a note of this. This is also something we need to remember. Next, Powers of Horror. Powers of Horror, an essay on abjection. Yes, this is something very important. She has developed the concept of abjection. What is abjection? Abjection is the separation of the child from mother body in pre-mirror stage. Yes, that is the concept of abjection. So this question also can be asked, who has developed this concept of abjection? So it is Julia Kristeva. Abjection. In which work? Powers of Horror. What is the subtitle of this work? An essay on abjection. This work is basically an analysis of Oedipus. Yes, Oedipus. Please make a note of this. Definitely this question also can be asked. In which work we get the reference of Oedipus? The answer is Powers of Horror, an essay on abjection, written by Julia Kristeva. Next, The Old Man and the Horror. This is very important novel written by Julia Kristeva. Next novel, Murder in Byzantium. Murder in Byzantium. This is another novel written by Julia Kristeva. Next work we will see. Please make a note of this. Next work, Possessions. It is semi-autobiographical. All right. So let me write it. Semi-autobiographical. All right. So Possessions. This is also a novel. Samurai. This is also a novel. Samurai. Simply they'll ask, who has written Samurai? So the answer is Julia Kristeva. Next work, The Sense and Nonsense Revolt, published in 2000. The Sense and the Nonsense Revolt. Next work, Time and Sense. This work is written on Proust. This work is written on Proust. So Time and Space. Written on whom? On Proust. Next work, New Melodies of the Soul. New Melodies of the Soul, written by Julia Kristeva. Next work, Nations Without Nationalism. Very important work. Simply they will ask, who has written Nations Without Nationalism? So the answer is Julia Kristeva. They can simply ask any one of the works written by Julia Kristeva. Julia Kristeva is somebody who is asked almost every time in UGC NET examination. So we should read her well. Next work is hatred and forgiveness, hatred and forgiveness. Next word is language, the unknown, language the unknown, hatred and forgiveness, language the unknown. So these are all important works written by Julia Kristeva. I hope you have written down all the points. Now we will go to our next important literary theorist, that is Mikhail Bakhtin. Again, he has been very significant person in this world of literary theory. He is actually a Russian philosopher and literary theorist. The first major idea we should know, that is the idea of carnival or carnivalesque. Yes. So who has coined this concept of carnivalesque? It is Mikhail Bakhtin. Simply this question, it came many times. So definitely it can come again. Carnivalesque. Who has coined this? So this is Mikhail Bakhtin. What is about it? Let me just read this. Carnivalesque is a literary mode that subverts, yes, that subverts and liberates the assumptions of the dominant style or atmosphere through humor and chaos. Yes, it originated as carnival in Mikhail Bakhtin's work Problems of Dostoevsky's Poetics. This question also can be asked: in which work firstly Bakhtin used it or introduced or originated it? So it is Problems of Dostoevsky's Poetics. Later on, this concept was further developed by him in his another work, Revelize and His Word. This question also can be asked. Let me make it clear. Firstly, he has originated this concept of carnivalesque in which work? In Problems of Dostoevsky's Poetics. This is number one information that we need to know. Secondly, he developed this concept in another of his work, that is Revelize and His Word. Right. So please make a note of this. Carnivalesque. Carnival means, it's a social institution where power is subverted, right? So this is very important. You should know. Next, the concept of heteroglossia. Simply they will ask who has coined or who has developed or who has introduced this concept of heteroglossia. Heteroglossia. So this is Mikhail Bakhtin. What is about it? It refers to the qualities of language which are common to all languages. There are some qualities which are common to all languages. Yes, these qualities can include anything, can include perspectives, yes, evaluation, yes, ideologies, discourses, anything. So this is the concept. Just remember, this concept was developed or introduced by Mikhail Bakhtin, and it refers to the qualities of language which are common to all languages. It can be anything. It can be perspectives, it can be evaluation, ideologies, discourses, anything. So this is heteroglossia by Mikhail Bakhtin. Next, chronotope. Who has coined this? Mikhail Bakhtin. Chronotope. Concept of chronotope. It suggests or it signifies time space. Time space. Yes. So Bakhtin showed how different genres operated with different configurations of the time and space. Just remember, Chronotope, this concept was developed or introduced by Mikhail Bakhtin. What does it suggest? It suggests time space. Bakhtin showed how different genres operated with different configurations of time and space. This is all about Chronotope, right? Bakhtin coined this term ideologism. Yes, simply question can come. who coined this term idealism? This is Mikhail Bakhtin. It was coined by Mikhail Bakhtin, introduced by whom? Do you have any idea who has introduced this? Introduced by Julia Kristeva. So please make a note of this concept, or this idea of idealism was coined by Mikhail Bakhtin and introduced by Julia Kristeva. Next, the concept of polyphony. Who coined it? Mikhail Bakhtin coined this concept of polyphony. Polyphony means, you can understand by the word itself, multiple voice, multiple perspectives, right? So simply a question can come, who coined this term polyphony? This is Mikhail Bakhtin. Let us know very important works written by Mikhail Bakhtin. All right. Number one is Towards a Philosophy of Act, of the Act. All right. Towards a Philosophy of the Act, written by Mikhail Bakhtin. So Mikhail Bakhtin developed a system by decentralizing Kant. Kant, I am sure you know, very important philosopher, Immanuel Kant, right? So just remember, in this work, he developed a system by decentralizing Kant. All right. And again, he developed an architectonic model. Yes, this is something we need to know. Architectonic model. What is it? I for me, I for other, and other for me. Let me write it down. I for me, I for other. This is number 2, and number 3 is other for me. Yes, this is the architectonic model developed by Mikhail Bakhtin. We should know in which work he developed this concept, Towards a Philosophy of Act, of the Act. All right. So please make a note of this. This is very important. Next, Problems of Dostoevsky's Poetics. Yes, he look at this. Look at this concept. I've already discussed actually this concept. This concept originated as carnival. The concept of carnival was first originated in this work, Problems of Dostoevsky's Poetics. This is something we need to know. Next, Rabelais and his world, published in 1965. Yes, this publication here also can be asked. Rabelais and his world, published in 1965. He has developed the concept of carnival in that work. I am sure you know something about carnival. I have already discussed that carnival is a kind of social institution where power is subverted, right? So next work is Dialogic, the Dialogic Imagination. This is a collection of 4 essays published in 1975. Simply they will ask who has written the Dialogic Imagination. And in this work, he has developed another concept or idea, you can tell, the concept of ideology. Yes, what is it? It is about the relationship between implied meaning of the text and the interpreted meaning of the text. Yes, it is about the relationship between the implied meaning and the interpreted meaning. So the dialogic imagination, it is about 4 essays published in 1975. We should know. Next word, epic and novel. This is very, very important. Simply they will ask who has written epic and novel. This is Mikhail Bakhtin. Next word, from the time and the chronotope. Yes, in the novel. From the time and of chronotope in the novel. Next word, from prehistory of novelist discourse. This is very important. From prehistory of novelist discourse, written by Mikhail Bakhtin. Next, and the final word is discourse in the novel. This is very, very important word. You should remember. Discourse in the novel. I hope you have written down all the points. This is all about my today's class. If you have any query, you can simply comment. And if you are new to my channel, let me tell you, I have created this channel, Literature Camp, for the preparation of UGC NET and SET in English literature. If you have internet pack, you can simply watch the classes. Thanks for your attention.